Take my eyes off of what transpires with the WNBA over the next 2 weeks while Caitlin Clark is out with the quad strain. And the reason why is because, let me tell you something right now. I'm not going to go to word hate. I'm not going to be out there like RG3 was saying that Angel Reese hates.
A basketball court hotter than a summer barbecue, where Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are serving up more than just jump shots. They're dishing out shade, history, and a whole cultural earthquake that's got Stephen A. Smith spitting fire like he's auditioning for Game of Thrones. It's not about black and white, it's about that white player and that black player. Stephen A. didn't just bring the heat.
It's not about black and white, it's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated.
He brought a flamethrower, a blowtorch, and a 5-alarm fire truck to this WNBA saga. So, what's got the sports world buzzing like a beehive on Red Bull? Why is Angel Reese catching strays like she's dodging dodgeballs? And how did Caitlin Clark become the WNBA's golden goose while simultaneously living rent-free in half the league's heads? Grab your popcorn because this tea is scalding and we're spilling it all. Let's go. All right, let's rewind the tape to where this all started, because this ain't just a basketball beef, it's a full-on soap opera with more layers than a lasagna. The year is 2023 and we're in the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. Caitlin Clark, the Iowa sharpshooter with a jump shot smoother than a jazz saxophone, is torching opponents left and right, hitting threes like she's playing NBA 2K on rookie mode. She's out here taunting, waving off defenders.
In Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living you-know-what at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was
doing the you can't see me move like she's John Cena in sneakers. The girl's got swagger, confidence, and a green light from downtown that's got the whole country watching. Enter Angel Reese and the LSU Tigers. They're not here for Caitlin's highlight reel. In the championship game, LSU pulls off the upset and Angel Reese flips the script. She hits Caitlin with her own "you can't see me" taunt, points to her ring finger like, "Where's your jewelry, sis?" And the internet explodes. It's the kind of moment that makes Twitter sound like a popcorn machine. Pop, pop, pop with reactions, memes, and hot takes. Now let's be real. Trash talk is as old as basketball itself. It's the spice that makes the game taste good. Michael Jordan was whispering sweet nothings about your mama while dropping 40. Larry Bird would tell you he's about to score, then do it in your face. So Angel Reese leaning into the moment? That's just basketball DNA. She wasn't inventing the wheel, she was just spinning it.
Unfortunately, it comes with the crown.
I got to push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
I think you're being a little bit too PC. Let's call it what it is. I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt...
Caitlin Clark herself said it best on ESPN. I don't think she should be criticized at all. She competed, I competed. Respect, right? Two warriors going at it. No harm, no foul. Well, except for the actual fouls, but we'll get to that. The problem is, that moment in 2023 wasn't just a game. It was the spark that lit a fuse, and now, 2 years later, we're watching the fireworks in the WNBA. Fast forward to May 17th, 2025, at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. The Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark, are whooping the Chicago Sky, led by Angel Reese, 93-58. It's not a game, it's a massacre. Picture a lion chasing a gazelle, except the gazelle forgot how to run. In the middle of this blowout, Caitlin Clark catches Angel Reese with a hard foul on a layup. Think less love tap and more freight train. But the refs call it a flagrant one, and the crowd's buzzing like they just saw a plot twist in a Marvel movie. Angel gets up, and according to reports, she's got some choice words for Caitlin. No biggie, right? Just competitors being competitive. But then, social media starts whispering about something darker. Allegations that Fever fans hurled racial slurs at Angel Reese during the game. The WNBA launches an investigation, and suddenly, this isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about race, rivalry, and a whole lot of receipts. Enter Stephen A. Smith, the human megaphone of sports commentary. who steps into this mess like he's been training for it his whole life.
Now, yes, you are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows this.
On his show, he doesn't just weigh in. He drops a verbal nuke. "Let me say this," he declares, and you already know it's about to get biblical. Stephen A. isn't here to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. He's got his eyebrows furrowed so hard they're practically doing push-ups, and he's ready to dissect this drama like it's a frog in biology class. His target, Angel Reese. His mission, to call out what he sees as hypocrisy, clout chasing, and a whole lot of misplaced energy. Angel Reese was in her face, chirping at her the way that she did. It would have never gotten to this point. He's not saying Angel's the villain in a comic book, but he's saying she lit the match that started this fire. And oh boy, does he have receipts. Stephen A. points to the 2023 NCAA moment where Angel Reese turned Caitlyn's taunt back on her. He's like, "You can't start a fire and then act shocked when the house burns down." He's not mad at the trash talk itself. He's a hoops guy, he gets it. But he's calling out how Angel's been riding that wave ever since, stirring the pot like she's on a cooking show. Then, in the 2025 Sky Fever game, when Angel clapped back after Caitlyn's flagrant foul, it wasn't just about the play. Stephen A. argues,
Was a basketball play. You understand? It was the heat of the moment. I got it. The fact that the Sky was getting romped by 35 certainly didn't help matters. I get all of that too, okay? But the reality of the...
But here's where Stephen A. turns into a rhetorical ninja. He doesn't just stop at Angel. He zooms out and puts the whole WNBA ecosystem on blast. "I think it's what Caitlin Clark represents," he says. And now we're getting to the meat of it. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon. She's a white superstar in a predominantly black league, dropping 20-plus points a game, pulling in record-breaking viewership, and filling arenas like she's Taylor Swift on a world tour. Her jump shots got range like Steph Curry, her vibes got Midwestern charm, and her stats are screaming, "Look at me!" She's not just playing basketball, she's rewriting the WNBA's economic playbook. And that, Stephen A. argues, is where the tension lies. It's not just about Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. It's about what Caitlyn's success exposes. A league grappling with its own identity, history, and, some internalized baggage.
Situation is clear. I think it was a basketball play. I don't think it's much ado about anything. I think both of you are 100% correct in terms of not only attributing it to competition, but loving the fact that they're being allowed to compete. We should not judge.
Let's break it down like a pick and roll. Caitlin Clark was the no. 1 pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. Angel Reese was number 8. Both are rookies, both are stars, but Caitlyn's getting the lion's share of the spotlight. She's an all-star, 4th in MVP voting, and the clear Rookie of the Year. She's got endorsement deals piling up like laundry, and she's driving WNBA viewership to numbers the league hasn't seen since Lisa Leslie was dunking in the early 2000s. Angel Reese, meanwhile, is no slouch. She's setting rebounding records and bringing her own flair, the Bayou Barbie energy that's got fans hyped. But when you're standing next to a supernova like Caitlyn, it's hard not to feel like you're in the shade. And Stephen A. His point is that some players, maybe Angel included, aren't just competing with Caitlyn on the court, they're wrestling with what she represents off it. Now let's talk about the racial slur drama, because this is where the plot thickens like grandma's gravy. After that May 17th game, social media lit up with claims that Fever fans targeted Angel Reese with racist remarks. The WNBA investigated, talking to fans, staff, and reviewing audio and video.
One of the footages they show was Angel Reese getting up and clapping and stuff like that. They keep their eyes on stuff like this. Here's where I'm going where the rivalry kicks in. Angel Reese, the reason why.
Their verdict? No evidence to back up the claims. Angel herself didn't confirm hearing slurs, but said there's no place in the game for that kind of behavior, which is a class act move. But Stephen A. wasn't letting it slide. He's like, if you're gonna throw around accusations, you better have the footage to back it up. He's not saying Angel made it up, but he's saying she leaned into the narrative without proof, and that's a slippery slope. It's like accusing someone of stealing your fries when you ate them yourself. Check the tape before you start pointing fingers. And then there's the Brittany Griner plot twist, because apparently this drama needed another all-star to make it a full-on blockbuster. In a separate game on May 23, 2025, between the Atlanta Dream and the Indiana Fever, Griner fouls out and allegedly yells something at Caitlin Clark as she leaves the court. A viral video has fans speculating she said, "Trash effing white girl." No audio confirmation, mind you, but the internet doesn't need facts to start a riot. Fans are screaming for a WNBA investigation, pointing out the league's No Space for Hate initiative that kicked off the 2025 season. Some even brought up Griner's 2022 Russia detainment, which, let's be honest, has nothing to do with this, but shows how messy the discourse got. Griner apologized for a separate F-bomb incident in an interview, but she and Clark stayed silent on the alleged slur. The WNBA is reportedly reviewing the footage, but so far, no official statement. Stephen A. didn't directly address the Griner incident, but you can bet he's got it on his radar.
Obviously, the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese thing happened was because when they met in the NCAA tournament in 2023, when Angel Reese was doing all of this, because Caitlin Clark had been doing that to her opponents when she got the best of them. So Angel Reese and LSU got the best of her, and that's what she did, unapologetic.
His whole vibe is about calling out double standards, and this fits right into his sermon. If Angel Reese gets dragged for clapping back at Caitlin, why isn't Griner catching the same heat for an alleged slur? And if fans are quick to jump on Angel for her antics, why are they giving Griner a pass or questioning if she was even talking to Clark? Stephen A. His point is that the outrage is selective, and it's not just about basketball. It's about race, fame, and who gets to be the hero or the villain in this narrative. Here's the thing, Caitlin Clark isn't out here trying to be anybody's villain or savior. She's just hooping. She's averaging triple-doubles, tying WNBA records in just 50 games and making defenders look like they're chasing a ghost. She's not asking for the headlines, the endorsements, or the sold-out arenas. She's earning them.
Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star,
And yet, some WNBA vets are acting like she stole their lunch money. Gemma-Lee Hill, another sports media heavy hitter, chimed in, saying the Reese-Clark rivalry's been overhyped by fans and media who love drama. Angel Reese is not the villain in Caitlin Clark's story, no more than Caitlin Clark is the savior in hers, she said. She's got a point. Why does every foul, every taunt, have to be a think piece? Can't we just enjoy the... How did Caitlin Clark become the WNBA's golden goose while simultaneously living rent-free in half the league's heads? And why is Stephen A. Smith out here acting like he's auditioning for a daytime Emmy with his verbal takedowns? Grab your popcorn, your iced coffee, and maybe a fire extinguisher, because this tea is scalding and we're spilling every last drop. Let's go! Let's rewind the tape to where this whole saga kicked off, because this isn't just a basketball beef. It's a full-on soap opera with more plot twists than a Shonda Rhimes drama. The year is 2023, and we're deep in the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. Caitlin Clark, the Iowa sharpshooter with a jump shot smoother than a jazz saxophone solo, is absolutely torching opponents left, right, and center. She's dropping threes from the parking lot like she's playing NBA 2K on rookie mode, waving off defenders with the confidence of a Wall Street broker closing a deal. She's out here hitting the "you can't see me" taunt, channeling her inner John Cena, and the crowd is eating it up like it's free tacos at a food truck.
Being fourth in the league in MVP voting was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard. When it was really all said and done, we know what she brings to the table.
Caitlin's not just playing basketball. She's putting on a clinic, a one-woman highlight reel that's got the entire country glued to their screens. ESPN's calling her the next big thing. Fans are packing arenas, and social media's buzzing like it's the Super Bowl of women's hoops. Enter Angel Reese and the LSU Tigers, who are not here for Caitlin's one-woman show. In the 2023 NCAA championship game, LSU pulls off the upset of the century, taking down Iowa in a nail-biter that has Twitter sounding like a popcorn machine. Pop, 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 with reactions, memes, and hot takes. Angel Reese, LSU's star forward, decides to flip the script in the most iconic way possible. As the clock winds down, She hits Caitlyn with her own "you can't see me" taunt, waving her hand in front of her face like she's dismissing a bad Tinder date. Then, for the cherry on top, she points to her ring finger, mouthing, "Where's your jewelry, sis?" Oh, it's a moment. A moment. The internet explodes like someone dropped a Mentos in a Coke bottle. Memes are flying, GIFs are looping, and suddenly, this isn't just a game. It's the spark that lights a fuse. And 2 years later, we're watching the fireworks in the WNBA.
Jackie Robinson of the WNBA will be Caitlin Clark. If she stays healthy, there's a group of them that would hope for her to be out. But
why do you say she's going to be the Jackie Robinson of the WNBA?
Well,
it's not like she's the first white girl.
She's not the first white girl, but she's the first.
Now, let's pump the brakes for a second and talk about trash talk, because it's the lifeblood of basketball. Trash talk isn't new. It's as old as the game itself. It's the spice that makes the game taste good, like hot sauce on wings. Michael Jordan was out here whispering sweet nothings about your mama while dropping 40 points. Larry Bird would tell you he's about to score, then drain a jumper in your face just to prove a point. Kevin Garnett would talk so much trash you'd need a hazmat suit to get through the game. So, when Angel Reese leaned into that moment, taunting Caitlyn right back, it wasn't some groundbreaking scandal. It was basketball DNA. She was just keeping it real, playing the game within the game. Caitlyn herself said it best in an ESPN interview after the game. "I don't think she should be criticized at all. She competed, I competed. Respect, right? Two warriors going at it. No harm, no foul, well, except for the actual fouls, but we'll get to that in a hot minute. The problem is, that 2023 moment wasn't just a game. It was the opening chapter of a rivalry that's been simmering ever since. And now it's boiling over in the WNBA like a pot of unattended ramen." Fast forward to May 17th, 2025, at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. The Indiana Fever, led by none other than Caitlin Clark, are taking on the Chicago Sky, where Angel Reese is holding it down. This isn't a game, it's a massacre. The Fever are whooping the Sky 93-58, and it's looking like a lion chasing a gazelle that forgot how to run. In the middle of this blowout, Caitlin Clark catches Angel Reese with a hard foul on a layup. Think less love tap and more freight train hitting a speed bump. The refs review the play and call it a flagrant one, which is basketball speak for "you did a little too much, but we're not ejecting you yet."
At the levels where she's scoring these, the threes she's shooting, she's like a Steph Curry. She's the first actual superstar that people care. When's the last time we watched like college basketball? If I told you, tell me the greatest college basketball female basketball players last 30 years.
The crowd's buzzing like they just saw a plot twist in a Marvel movie, and Angel gets up, brushing herself off, reportedly with some choice words for Caitlyn. No biggie, right? Just competitors being competitive, jawing at each other in the heat of the moment. But then, the plot thickens faster than a milkshake in a blender. Social media starts lighting up with whispers, dark, ugly whispers. Allegations surface that Fever fans hurled racial slurs at Angel Reese during the game. We're talking the kind of language that makes your stomach turn, the kind of hate that has no place in sports or anywhere else. The WNBA catches wind and launches an investigation, talking to fans, staff, and combing through every pixel of audio and video footage like their CSI Indianapolis. The internet, of course, is already in a frenzy. X is a war zone of opinions, with some fans
actually feel bad for Angel Reese at this point, and it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the
Stephen A is not saying Angel's the villain in a comic book, but he's saying she lit the match that started this fire. He points all the way back to that 2023 NCAA championship where Angel turned Caitlyn's taunt back on her. "You can't start a fire and then act shocked when the house burns down," he says, and you can feel the heat through the screen. He's not mad at the trash talk itself. He's a hoops guy. He gets it. Trash talk is part of the game, like sweat and sneakers. But he's calling out how Angel's been riding that wave ever since, stirring the pot like she's on a cooking show. In that May 17th, 2025 Sky Fever game, when Angel clapped back after Caitlyn's flagrant foul, it wasn't just about the play. Stephen A argues it's part of a pattern. Angel leaning into the drama, knowing the cameras are rolling and the internet's watching like hawks. She's not dumb. She's quite a brilliant young lady, he says, giving her props for her smarts, but shading her for playing to the social media algorithm like it's her side hustle. Now, let's be clear. Stephen A. isn't just throwing shade for the sake of views. He's got a point, and he's wielding it like a samurai with a katana. He argues that Angel's actions, her taunts, her post-game comments, her social media presence, are calculated to keep the spotlight on her. And in the age of X, TikTok, and Instagram, that's not a bad strategy. Going viral is currency, and Angel's out here cashing checks. But Stephen A. is like, if you're gonna stir the pot, at least season it right. He's saying Angel's leaning into the drama without the receipts to back it up, especially when it comes to the racial slur allegations.
The fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
Well, she's better at everything.
And
she had a triple-double. She's tied for the third most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
The WNBA's investigation found no evidence of fans using slurs in that game. No audio, no video, no smoking gun. Angel didn't double down on the claims, but she didn't shut them down either, and that ambiguity left room for the narrative to spiral. Stephen A.'s point? If you're gonna throw around accusations that serious, you better have the footage to back it up, or you're just tossing gasoline on a fire you didn't need to start. But here's where Stephen A. turns into a rhetorical ninja, flipping the script and zooming out to put the entire WNBA ecosystem on blast. I think it's what Caitlin Clark represents, he says, and now we're getting to the meat of it. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon. She's a white superstar in a predominantly black league, dropping 20-plus points a game, pulling in record-breaking viewership, and filling arenas like she's Taylor Swift dropping a surprise album. Her jump shots got range like Steph Curry, her vibes got Midwestern charm like a cornfield in July, and her stats are screaming, "Look at me." She's not just playing basketball, she's rewriting the WNBA's economic playbook. And that, Stephen A. argues, is where the real tension lies. It's not just about Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. It's about what Caitlin's success exposes. A league grappling with its own identity, its history, and, some internalized baggage that nobody wants to unpack. Let's break it down like a pick-and-roll play in the fourth quarter. Caitlin Clark was the one pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, selected by the Indiana Fever. Angel Reese was number 8, picked by the Chicago Sky.
Racism has been impacting the WNBA well before this year. This is not a new thing.
Both are rookies, both are stars, but Caitlin's getting the lion's share of the spotlight, and it's not even close. In her first season, Caitlin's an all-star, finishes 4th in MVP voting, and is the clear Rookie of the Year, no competition. She's got endorsement deals piling up like laundry after a road trip, and she's driving WNBA viewership to numbers the league hasn't seen since Lisa Leslie was dunking in the early 2000s. She's averaging triple-doubles, tying WNBA records in just 50 games, and making defenders look like they're trying to guard a ghost. Angel Reese, meanwhile, is no slouch. She's setting rebounding records, bringing her Bayou Barbie energy, and carving out her own lane with flair and hustle. But when you're standing next to a supernova like Caitlin, it's hard not to feel like you're in the shade. Stephen A. His point isn't that Angel's not talented. She's a beast on the boards, a double-double machine with a personality that pops off the screen. His point is that some players, maybe Angel included, aren't just competing with Caitlin on the court. They're wrestling with what she represents off it.
In that way, I do think Caitlin's being used as a pawn. Caitlin didn't bring racism to the WNBA. This has been happening, and that I think is what's been such a shock for all of us.
Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's golden goose, a once-in-a-generation talent who's bringing in dollars, eyeballs, and attention the league's been begging for since its inception in 1997. She's not just a player, she's an economy boost in sneakers. Attendance is up, TV ratings are through the roof, and sponsors are lining up like it's Black Friday at Best Buy. According to ESPN, the WNBA's 2024 season saw a 20% increase in viewership, with games featuring Caitlin Clark averaging 6 million viewers, the highest since 2000. That's not just numbers, that's real money.